everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would do a pregnancy update and where I'm at so far with this second pregnancy. So I am currently 29 weeks and 3 days, so roughly around 7 months pregnant. On the home stretch, I'm in the last quarter. I'm so excited to have this baby because pregnancy has not been very easy for me. I'm trying to stay positive now. But with my first pregnancy, as I mentioned in my update video, I was very sick. I had hyperemesis. A lot of people in England will associate that with Kate Middleton, as she was pregnant the same time as me. And all I used to get was, oh, Kate Middleton's got that. And I was like, it's not something that you want though. So I was being sick up to 40 times a day sometimes. So it made life very difficult. I started with that on that pregnancy at about, I think I was about 3 weeks pregnant. So literally right at the beginning. At first I didn't realise I was pregnant. And then that went on up until the day I had her. The morning that I'd had her was the last time I was sick, and then after that nothing. I felt great. I was no sickness, and I was like, oh, thank God that is over, because I thought it was going to go on forever and ever and ever, because I felt like I was pregnant for about 3 years with that. This time I found out I was pregnant when I was 3 weeks and 6 days. I actually did a pregnancy test on Valentine's Day. I didn't think that I was pregnant. We was trying for a baby, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I found out I was pregnant on Valentine's Day? And I didn't think I would be, because I knew it was too soon to take a pregnancy test. So I did the test anyway, and it came up positive. So I kept checking the test. I was like, oh my god, it is positive. I had got one of the tests that you can test early. So, but every month I'd done a pregnancy test, because with my first pregnancy I got pregnant within a month, which was amazing that I didn't have to wait. And I was expecting it to be a long time, so I was quite surprised. This time I thought, oh, it'll happen straight away. And it didn't take a long time. It took about 4 or 5 months, so that is no way a long time at all when you're trying for a baby. They say at least 6 months before contraception is out of your system a lot of the time. So it was still really fast, but because of how quick it was the first time, I was thinking, oh, we're going to have problems now, it's not going to happen so easy, and I got a little bit down about it. Excuse my phone there. But yeah, it was about 4 or 5 months, so I'd got to the point where I thought, oh, I bet it's not going to happen. So I was quite surprised. So it was a nice Valentine's present for my husband when he got home and I told him. So yeah, it was about 4 weeks then, and then I was like, well, I'm not sick. I've not had any sickness. This is a good thing. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, I regretted thinking that, because the sickness came and I was just sick, and it was awful. But the first pregnancy I was sick around 40 times a day. That was about them. I think it was 47 times a day was one day, because the doctor told me to write a tally of how many times. So that was the day that I'd done that, was 47 times, and it was normally give or take the same amount every day. Up until the second trimester it slowed down a bit, but then it came back again in the third trimester. This time the most I was sick was probably about 17 times a day, so by nowhere near as much as the first time, but even 17 times a day is just, it's so exhausting, it's so draining. And I have a husband, a house, 2 dogs and a toddler to look after this time, so I was extremely tired. Like, I don't remember being very tired the first time round, but I just felt so drained. I felt like someone had literally took a straw and sucked the energy out of me. I was just like, I just want to go to sleep, but I have a 2-year-old, I can't just go to sleep. I have a job, I have a family to look after, so that I felt quite difficult this time round. When it got to about 18 weeks pregnant, the sickness had sort of upped a level, and I'm thinking it should be going down a bit now. So I was hoping it would have gone down, and I got really sick one weekend. So I ended up going to the emergency doctors because I was suffering pains and I just couldn't keep anything down. And it turned out I had an infection. So the doctor there gave me the antibiotics, and he also gave me these anti-sickness tablets. The first time round, no anti-sickness tablets worked whatsoever. I couldn't keep them down. So he gave me really tiny ones to give it a try, and he said if I had them, then I should be able to eat properly, because I was coming up very malnourished. He was close to sending me to the hospital. And they worked. I was like, this is amazing. They were, if any of you are suffering, the tablets were cyclazine, I think that's how you pronounce it. And like I say, they worked for me. I felt great. I still felt really sick, like when you're hungover and you get up in the morning, you think, oh, should I move or not? I feel really queasy. I still felt like that for a few weeks afterwards, but I wasn't being sick, and I was keeping my food down, so my energy was going up, so I was starting to feel a lot better. Then by about 22 weeks, I'd probably say I still felt a bit sick, but it was just like nothing really compared to what I'd had, so I was like, I feel great. I feel really good now. At this point, we'd had a 12-week scan. We went for an early dating scan. We had a 12-week scan at the hospital, and then we got an early gender scan, which we found out we are having a boy this time, so which is lovely. I kind of thought it was a boy because the pregnancy was a bit different. But you never know these things, do you? With like you'll read the old wives' tales and things. So with my first pregnancy, Penelope fit all the old wives' tales, apart from glossy hair and clear skin, because my skin completely cleared up, where they say if it's a girl it doesn't, but it did. So that was when we found out. I think I was about 16 to 18 weeks pregnant when we found out I was having a boy. And then we had the 20-week scan at the hospital, where I found out I've got a low-lying placenta, which is the same as I had last time. So I've got to go back on the 1st of September for a 32-week scan to find out whether my placenta has moved. Last time it did, so there was going to be no problem with a natural delivery. But this, if it doesn't move, and it's because it's pretty much just blocking the exit, so there's no way for the baby to come out. So if that's the case, then I will have to have a cesarean, which if I have to have it, I have to have it, but I would really ideally like to not have that. So at the moment, like I said, I'm 29 weeks pregnant, and I've just been for my latest midwife appointment, where I got to hear the baby's heartbeat. So when I was about 26 weeks pregnant, I think I pulled my pelvis or something. I don't know whether it was from lifting Penelope up or just doing day-to-day things. Because what happens in pregnancy is that your body just relaxes, like hormones released, and everything is sort of spacing out, ready for baby to come, and everything's softening for baby to come out. And sometimes it can happen too quick, or you can have an accident, etc., because your muscles down there aren't working as well as they would do normally. So I suffered from what's called pelvic girdle pain, PGP. It used to be called SPD, but they've changed it because it now involves the whole pelvis. So I had to go for physiotherapy for that, which it's not the best. They just say like, oh, sit in this position, sleep in this position, this is how you get up and down, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And some of the things are great. It's like, don't hoover, don't mop, don't do this, don't lift this. And it's like, yippee, I've been given a free rein of don't do any of these jobs, but yet who's going to do it? And my poor husband has been bombarded with all the jobs. He has to do everything. A lot of the time I can't even bend down to pick things up off the floor because it is so painful. So I'm like, can you just come and pick this thing here that I've just dropped on the floor? And that's where having a 2-year-old has come in handy. She loves helping mummy, so I'm like, oh, Penelope, can you pick that up for mummy, or can you put mummy's shoes on? And she thinks it's really fun, so I've been using her a little bit that way. And my husband's just been taking cleaning coordination tips off me, so I'm like, do that. So the poor guy is just exhausted, but now he knows how it feels to have to do all the jobs all the time. So yeah, I've had that, and I'm trying to learn to manage it. It's just one of those things. It's not going to get better until after I've had the baby. I just have to try and make sure it doesn't progress and get worse, because some people break the pelvises, They need crutches, they need surgery, and I really, really don't want to have 2 babies and to have surgery or anything like that, because that would just be awful. So like I say, now I'm at 29 weeks, I'm looking forward to the birth, and sorry if you hear a dog bark, the wind blew, so my dog now thinks he needs to bark at that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the birth, and my friend did hypnobirthing in her first labour, and she thinks that it was the most amazing thing and that it really helped her, so I thought I'll give it a try. I'd not really heard much about it the first time. I'd heard the word, but the midwife didn't discuss it, nobody told me about it. So she's loaned me this book. This is the Hypnobirthing book by Catherine Graves, and I've actually watched some of her videos on YouTube. There isn't really many like actual classes, but sometimes it's a little bit better to hear it verbally than reading it for some people. I'm halfway through this book now. I only started reading it the other day, and there is exercises to do with by yourself or with your birthing partner, and it completely makes sense. Like I'm really sold on the hypnobirthing thing now, and I'm not against like drug treatment or anything like that in labour. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold if I sound a bit nasally. So yeah, I did have drug treatment last time. I had to have drug intervention. I'm not against that whatsoever, but I had to be at home a lot last time, and I think that the hypnobirthing way would help with the dealing with it at home and the quickness, because they don't tell you that you can be in labour a very, very long time. And like pre-labour can go on for days. Some people are in labour for weeks, and I think if doing these exercises can help deal with that, then that's just an added bonus. That it's not going to hurt in any way, shape or form to do these sorts of exercises. So that's where I'm up to now. I am trying to give these exercises a good go because I want to speed things up as much as possible. I've been getting some of the things for the baby. We're going to start decorating the nursery this week, and I've been looking at stuff for my hospital bag, so I'll do a video on that, like what I'm taking for myself in my hospital bag and what I'm putting in baby's hospital bag, because you have to take quite a bit of stuff with you, you don't really realise. So I've been sorting all that out this weekend. I've also been filling in, I bought these books. These are really lovely books. I got one, it's a bit discoloured now actually. I got this one for Penelope when I was pregnant with her, and then I've got this one for this little baby. And basically all it's got is, it's called Bump to Birthday, and you put in like the dad details, the mum's details, and how you found out. It's got like questions like why I thought I was pregnant, etc., how I found out I was pregnant, who I told, a bit about yourself, and then it's got like the first trimester, and it's got all these nice little quotes in there, and you can put pictures, and it's got a bit about me, a bit about what we've been up to, and that goes on. So you've got like the first trimester, it starts from about 8 weeks, and then you've got a page for when you have your first scan, and your second scan. And then, oh, where are we? So yeah, we've got, where are we here? The labour. So it's got like symptoms and things that you can put in there, things you're worried about, things you're looking forward to. So like the birth, so it's got all your birthstones, and so yeah, it's a really good way. And then when the baby, it's got like your midwife's name, consultant's name, and then as you go on, it's got like, what have we been up to 5 weeks old. And then it's got a bunch of like firsts, so like first time talked, walked, etc. So this book is lovely, and I really like looking back and reading it, although all it says is, how have you been feeling, is sick, 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 all the way through that one. This one's a little bit more variety this time, and it's a little bit cleaner. So I need to print the pictures off yet from where we're up to. So that's another thing I've been doing. I've got 5 weeks left in work. I'm currently working full-time still, so that's a little bit difficult having a toddler. University, like I've mentioned in my update video, I do university, so that's finished for the summer, which is great, so that's a nice break. Normally I would start back up in September, but you start in September but you actually don't start until October. But because I'm due in October, I'm thinking that I may start on the next term, which is January, and do it a little bit later on, rather than, because then I can still start the next year in September. It's just I wouldn't have much of a break in between, which is probably a good thing because I get a bit distracted and sort of lose focus when you have too much time off. So I may do that. Yeah, I'm still contemplating. I need to ring up the university and have a discussion with the tutors. So that's pretty much where I'm up to in my pregnancy. I will, like I say, I will share with you some videos of like what I'm packing for baby, and I'll probably put in some like products that I've been using as well. So if you want to see videos like that, please subscribe to my channel. And if you've got any tips for me, if you've suffered PGP and you have any tips of helps pain relief wise, any, like if you've been doing hypnobirthing, if anything's been helping for you, that would be great. It's really great to share stories, I think, with other mums or mums to be, because it can be lonely, it can be hard, but it can also make you open your eyes to new experiences and meet new people. So that's a good thing. So yeah, that's my pregnancy so far, up to 29 weeks, and I will see you in the next video.